kind of bringing you an update on a story that we talked about several weeks ago, where they were talking about trying to get a humanist as a chaplain, whatever that is, into the Navy, and they apparently had rejected him. And the reasons why they did this was because they thought that a humanist would bring public disgrace to the Navy. The Navy has done a lot of things over its years, being a military organization that has brought enough disgrace on itself. But the fact is that they have said that a humanist was going to be the one bringing them disgrace versus a man of God is kind of disingenuous, because one day after they had rejected the humanist that was applying, which was Jason Heap, who is a well-qualified counselor who is seeking to become the military's first humanist chaplain, what happened was that the day just before that, the Navy captain, Lawfren Thornton, who was the Navy chaplain, was fired for having sex with someone on the street of a British-themed pub. And the whole incident was caught on camera. Now, the fact is that I don't care if he's had sex in public, but the fact is that they are shaming a humanist who hasn't done anything to the Navy at all, but this priest, who was supposed to be a man of God, went out and did this public exposure thing. Now, if you want to have sex in public, then that's a whole different issue. I mean, I don't have a problem with him having sex. If it had been a man or a woman or whatever, that's his prerogative. But the fact is that you rejected a humanist just because you thought he was going to bring bad publicity or bad press or make the Navy look bad, when you have a chaplain that goes out to a British theme pub in New Orleans and has sex in public, and that doesn't say, hey, I think we're being a little hypocritical here. Atheist Ranger, your thoughts?
Well, can't really condone the whole public thing because, wink, wink. But this is what believers like to do. They like to delude themselves into thinking that they are the moral high ground above us non-believers, and they don't. And the reason they don't is because morality is subjective. I mean, you can sit there and try to make that bad, make it seem like, oh, morality is just based on opinion. Yeah, it is. In fact, to quote Bill Maher, religion is just an opinion, and it's not a very good one.
Yeah, I completely agree on that point. And the fact is, the laws that we have are based on opinions that we all agree upon. For example, the light turns red, we want you to stop. Do you have to stop? Absolutely not. But if you don't, you could cause an accident, for example. But these are opinions that we've all agreed upon to say, hey, we would like you to do this thing. And having sex in public is one of those things we say, hey, we don't want you to do because reasons.
But I still do it anyway.
I didn't say that. I'm not saying I haven't done that.
Damn, I thought it was just me.
Because if I said I hadn't done that, I would be a liar, and I'm not going to lie. But I'm not the head of the Navy chaplain, though, either. So, and I wasn't putting anybody's job at risk by doing so. Matt, your thoughts?
When they don't approve of the humanist, because it would wreck the Navy per se, and then this guy, I guess he's been the chaplain for the Navy since '92.
Mm-hmm.
What the story said.
Yes.
And then he goes out and does this. I mean, come on, really?
It makes me wonder what else he's done on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done a whole slew of stuff from the time he started till now. So he's been chaplain for 26 years, and then he gets busted for having sex in public. I mean, I don't know if this guy is an actual priest or not. That I don't know. The story didn't say that, but they're so hypocritical, and I think they should hire the humanist now.
Yeah, I think they should too. And the thing is here that I was just thinking, I'll give him credit for one thing. At least it wasn't a little boy.
True.
That we know of.
Yeah. I mean, he could have done, who knows? I mean, I don't want to speculate, but you never know what these Christian people or these religious people are going to do. Not all of them are pedophiles, but it seems like a good majority of things these people are getting in trouble for doing stuff like that.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And there was a couple of stories that we talked about at the staff meeting that involve stuff like that. And we've covered this ad nauseum, so that's why we went with this. The sex appears to be consensual between him and the woman. I mean, it appears to be so far.
Right. Well, I mean, even if he's able to, because, Catholic priests, they have to remain celibate. But if he's allowed to have sex with somebody, consensual sex, I mean, that's his private life. That's his business. But to do it in public, I don't know.
Yeah, that's my point. I don't know if he's a Catholic priest. I just know he's a priest.
Right.
So.
Well, you see, there are a lot of chaplains that aren't priests. They're just chaplains. I mean, and they're married, or they could be a pastor of a church or something, and they're married, not necessarily Catholic. If they're Catholic, no. But if they're, another denomination, a lot of them are married.
Yeah, we don't know. Maybe this was his wife. Maybe it was his mistress. Who's to say?
Yeah, I just hope they hire the other guy.
I hope they hire him too. I mean, it would stand to reason that the fact is that this other guy, the chaplain, who's supposed to be the man of God, who supposedly is going to bring shame to the military, and this guy gets busted for having sex in public, and that's not shameful, but I'm dubious on that.